The River Starts Here project started in 2017 and was finished in 2022.
The River Starts Here is a really exciting project because it takes us from our big blue river into the smaller brooks and streams, and from these brooks and streams it takes us to the places where we work, the places where we play, the places where we live. And from that it tries to inform people about their impact on the river and how their decisions can influence the river, and how we can then empower people to make a positive impact on their part of the river, whilst also learning to enjoy the smaller brooks and streams, which are also very important.
And the main purpose of it was to work with local businesses as well as local communities and volunteer groups to educate about the river and what can be done to improve the water quality.
We've made this film to thank all of our volunteers, contractors, partners and all that have funded, and everyone who has collaborated in this project. And also a thank you to all of the Trent River staff.
We work with 20 different businesses to improve river health and advise them on how they and their employees could become more river friendly.
And that accumulated in the River Friendly Business Award, which is handed out on a yearly basis.
So we advised on things like emergency procedures in case there were spillages, and we helped employees to make informed decisions around how they can become river friendly at work and at home.
We at Ferrero are absolutely thrilled to have won the Gold Award today. What we've learned as a team and from working with Julie and the guys is that actually we can move away from just operational environmental management and move towards more a culture of sustainability.
Absolutely thrilled to be one of the first 3 businesses to achieve gold standard. We have a site that's full of wildlife, we have a stream that runs through our site, and we want to encourage that. We want to encourage the local community to participate in the area they live as well.
The River Starts Here project works a lot with volunteer groups and community engagement. One of those groups was called DACES, which is the Derbyshire Adult Community Education Service. These are young people who are not in education, employment or training. During the end of COVID, it was really nice to run a Coppisbrook walk with the local community and volunteers and staff members, and to enjoy an event that was beneficial to the community. This was a linear walk to show the route of the Coppisbrook from its source as a tiny stream in Ripley through undulating countryside all the way through to Belper at the River Derwent. The idea of the Coppisbrook walk was to highlight all the problems that the watercourses have, where they've been straightened, turned into ditches, or the outfalls and pollution that urbanisation bring.
The Oakenthorpe Brook runs through the old Wingfield Colliery site, and because of that the whole area had been in a massively reshaped and re-landscaped. And then in the 1970s, when the colliery finally closed, the river was reinstated. So basically it's been straightened, several sort of check weirs were put in, made out of stone and concrete. But because the brook actually flows into River Amber, we do get trout and other fish trying to migrate up the river. And these small weirs, that may only be 2 foot high, do prevent most of the trout from actually moving upstream. So the project was to try and renaturalise the river. So we got contractors in and they actually broke up the weirs. Not always taking out all of the weir, but taking out sections of it. So there is a path through for fish to migrate up. I mean, the other thing we did as well was we actually hinged some trees into the river, which again just slows the flow down a bit, but adding that vital sort of woody habitat into the river that a lot of fish need.
So here's all the trout that we've found between what was Weir B and Weir C, and I think last time there weren't any at all, and look at this, the biggest one is 27 centimetres long.
Rivers naturally tend to twist and turn, they don't go in straight lines, and when you get a river that's been straightened, the water does tend to just flow through far too fast. So it affects, wildlife, vegetation, then it creates a flood risk downstream because the water gets down there too quick. So by just creating a more natural environment and dropping the trees into the stream, it did slow it down quite nicely.
Ripley Greenway was another one of our projects that was very successful. The Greenway is a linear path which was once an old railway. The Friends of Ripley Greenway asked for some help from Trent Rivers Trust to solve a problem that the footpath was flooding.
Really, there was a great opportunity here at Ripley Greenway to take a little stream that was hidden away and make more of it, really, make more of its habitat for wildlife and make it more enjoyable. My idea really was to take this little straightened stream that's in a ditch and bring it towards the path for two reasons really. One, so that people could see it, and two, because I could see that the path had some problems. It had puddles on it and people couldn't get past, so those puddles really were just water in the wrong place.
We have changed several parts of it to give access to the brook and actually changed the route of the brook so that it's not just a straight man-made ditch. It now has meanders in it, which is much better for the wildlife. And lots of people who use the Greenway have said to me how pleased they are with how it looks and how much they're enjoying it. Just people who use it daily have said it's absolutely great.
What we've been doing today is putting plug plants in to improve the habitat. So we've been putting some things in that like to get the feet wet and others that like damp ground, and hopefully they will thrive and mix in with the natural recolonisation of the existing vegetation that's here.
With the plants growing, what we're hoping to find is that that'll attract quite a lot of insects, things like dragonflies and things like that will be living around there, so it'll be really interesting in the summer to see what comes and makes its home or has a little flyby. For too long we've turned our back on our streams and things and not really thought about them very much, but actually they can be a great treasure for us all and for nature. So it's a way really to start wilding our environment and bringing nature back into it, which has got all sorts of, makes us feel good, it's good for nature, it's a win-win really.
We worked in collaboration with Derbyshire County Council, Ripley Town Council, and also had volunteers from DACES and Mind. The funding from this was from Greggs, Esme Fairburn, Severn Trent Water and Ripley Town Council.
The Outfall Safari is based on an app which members of the public can use to log water issues, mainly from outfalls on rivers. So it was developed with the Zoological Society of London, Severn Trent Water and the Environment Agency and the Rivers Trust. And basically you have the app on your phone, there's several different things that you can easily just put in and that'll grade the severity of the pollution incident that you're looking at. So if it's an issue, this then is sent over to Severn Trent and they will come over and check it out and do sampling to see if there's an issue that should be looked at. Hillcott is typical of many issues that we see on our rivers. So there's a surface water outfall, so it's a big concrete head wall with a pipe in the centre of it which takes surface water from a nearby industrial estate. So the main issue is they do tend to get pollutants in these outfalls coming out. So it could be brake dust, it could be hydrocarbons from vehicles. But by setting back the outfall about 20 metres, we've created this sort of meandering wetland habitat. So this gives us a good area where we can start to break down some of these pollutants. It just gives us an extra little bit of biodiversity, which will be missing from the river. Then also at higher flows on the main river, it just gives a backwater where fish can shelter. The construction on site started in 2018. And at first looked a bit sort of brutal, but it's now developed really nicely into a cracking bit of habitat. And we've actually filmed water voles in this locality now.
The River Starts Here is a really important project because it helps bring people along the way. So it has really shown to us that it is important to empower people to take action on their local river to make a bigger impact on environmental health and the river itself. So for us, the message is that ownership of your local stream is here to make a difference and it's here to stay.
So now the project has ended, I think we can look back at it with a lot of pride. We've achieved a tremendous amount We've communicated with lots of businesses, local residents, we've done work parties, and we've actually achieved some good physical improvements on the ground. So I think we've left a good legacy for the future.